Fantastic moment. Welcome back. It's underscore Gintu. Back again to the root. Wherever you are, grab a seat because today you're gonna be having the lead. More fire. Wagwan. Thank you very much. And I've seen much of the impact onto the platform. Now people are coming out talk about Gintu A, Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D, Gintu Gintu A, Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D, Gintu Yeah, man. Everything is so fantastic. Gonna be continuing with E, F, G, H, X. To where it's gonna be landing into, and this is the beginning of the third match 2025 as we have match of the Cracker 2, and I have just got my NBA and to the system, and it has grabbed much of the things, but this kind of the moment you're gonna be going to there's a podcast called there's a goon somewhere called JT. I don't know, some people know this kind of a guy. I don't know if you know him, and he's talking about people grabbing the content from him. Come back to Nyabuhanse if you want to react to Nyabuhanse. If you are in Nairobi, just come back to Nyabuhanse and react upon the people. But don't stay in Nyabuhanse and talk about in Nairobi. You're thinking about people are interested with you. Nobody's interested with you. And G, this is the real G of coming out from Nyabuhanse one-on-one, and everything is onto the ground. Whatever you are just speaking, whatever you are just grabbing a seat while in Nairobi and talking about the reaction in Nyabuhanse, you are losing the moment. And nobody's interested with you as far as we are in concern. Everything is so fantastic. Let's grab everything. Let's make it something that's going to be coming out very classy. And this is just the beginning. Guys, how the things are now grooving to this kind of the position, everything is so wagwan. And much of the people will be talking about, guys, you know what has been the mimicry is this kind of a JT guy. I've never been into a consideration of talking about, he was needing much of talk about information. I was the one who was giving him much of the information from Nyabuhanse whenever he was asking about, I have heard this about this, And at the time I told him, you are now too much. I'm not a parrot for you. And even me, I'm the mastermind. You have to look for me so as you can just gain. So he was coming out talk about, now. I told him live, I'm not in consideration with you. Because there's no much of hesitating with such kind of the people and talk about, me, Gintu, I always go straight to the point. I tell you, this is a fact. This is a bullshit. This is a bombshell. This is kaboom. This is a nye. We go forward. But at the time of you coming outside here to tell us, that's how you know, yet you are just in Nairobi, you are reacting upon Nyabuhanse, you are a psychopath and a critic guy at the same time. We are not bothered with small things like that one. So as the fact now, you get the point, and we are not in good terms. That's the fact. JT and Maro, they look alike, if you don't know. So that's the real fact. You want to gain, but other people don't want to get that they're going to be gaining. So that's the fact about this kind of the people, and you should just know about them. And we are not being given such kind of a stress with such kind of the guys. And whatever comes out, continue posting and talking about warning to Gintu, you will lose it. Because how many warnings have I ever received? I've received the warnings and even have ever run. If once upon a time, things went abrupt and we're going to be having much of the Cracker 2 with the police here and there, rushing here and there. You are just the one talking about warning. Warning my foot. Don't be silly and stupid at the same time. So whenever you want to address Gintu neatly and have an etiquette. Are we in agreement? As the fact... consider yourself. Don't think about, you have some 2 computers there of 16,000. You think about now you are an IT guy. You are just more or less. Even I don't think you can just pass through me. So that's the real fact about it. And if you think you're a computer guy, more than Gintu something else. And there's nothing you can ever hook me. Just go, if you want to hack me, go and hack if you have that kind of a legitimate time. And you may just make it happen. Because don't think about, people now talk about, the guy, you're going to be having, you have nothing. That's the fact. That, I know much of the people who can put Gintu inside. Gintu is your foot. Nonsense. Keep it locked. Let's go on. Because things has to follow the route. And this is how the route going to be. And much of the people, whoever want to scramble and make sure that things are scrambling, as they also there, we have to deal with them perpendicularly per unit time. Because when we are just struggling ourselves here and we have been looking helter-skelter. So you are talking about something you ever knew. You never knew how the foundation was. So you had to entail and make sure that you are now, every time is passy. Can you tell me about this? Can you tell me? Right now there's no information. So you just grab a seat, just relax. If you want to regain the friendship, Gintu's available, call me. Because I don't think we have your number. Oh, I don't know. If I have it, God knows. But you can find it. It's under the description, and you can just find Gintu and make sure that things are coming out clearly. But the terms that we are just giving out, they are just unconditional. And Gintu cannot be bothered with such kind of the small things. And the repercussion you're going to be bringing, it's going to be so chaotic to you. It's not me. And the warnings I'm seeing there, warning. Do you think how many warnings was I being given in primary school and in high school? Do you know how many leave out cheat did I hook up so that I could just go home? And do you know how many warnings did I be given? Do you know how many fences did I buy to go to the school because of the warning we're talking about? But at the long last, things are continuing, and this is the best moment. So when you're coming out to talking about warning, you're not a police, my friend, and you know nothing about the police. You are just there to tell people that, guys, I want to be helping this kind of the people. Guys, you know my foot. There's nothing there. So go and check on, you're the person who think about you know much. I can give you a hint, wherever you are. Go check on Obasa. There's a new case roaming out, and a very big case. Just call. I'm giving you a hint from today. If you want, I tell you, I'm the mastermind. Go check the person called Chris the Great. Chris the Great took Obasa to school, and things have gone shenaniganing. So go and check why she's at home, and is she going back to the same school? And you'll just get the point. But depend on Gintu. Gintu is something else. So that's the fact, and we're going to be coming out with such kind of the thing. If you cannot get it, I'm going to be coming out with it tomorrow, one-on-one, and I will be telling you what is really by faulting, because I told you things are heterozygous, and much of the things are going to be coming. A new case is roaming, and Gintu going to be tangling in with it. And Chris the Great, wherever you are, know that tomorrow is your day, because the 60,000 you received from Mayuguno are going to be coming for it. You understand? Yeah, guys, the case is going to be roaming, and that is a little hint, and even the people doesn't know, it's going to be coming out very clearly. And that is the roaming and the trending of this week, because much of the students are going back to school, and that is the information they're going to be roaming out as, is she going back to school? Or Chris the Great has 860,000 to challenge the game. And if the challenging of the game is the girl is back at home and the school is going to be changed. So that is the breaking news, and we're going to be getting it tomorrow one-on-one. And this is just the beginning of it. If JT, you have, if you get this kind of the video, just entitle and get the information and put it out. If you are a man enough to get the real information, then the real G. So that is the real fact about the Commandant General G is onto the spot to make sure that people are going to be getting the real information from the ground. I talked about this is the rectification of the misery and immiserables that are ongoing unto the village and making the Krakatoos to go beyond the nature that we never recommended it to happen. And as we commence and make it a valid response to outside their people to get and know what's really happening. Because some people talk about, oh, Gintu is this, Gintu is A, Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D, Gintu Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D, ding, ding. Exactly. But the real fact is things are roaming, and much of the things Nyabohanse can never get out of scandals and cannot get out of chaos, because telenovela. And some people are talking about, oh, Gintu, you have been O, B, C, D, this and this and this and this. Now Chris the Great has a mystery, and they're in collaboration with Mayuguno. What was the money for? What was the 60,000 Kenya shillings channeled from Mayuguno one-on-one to Chris the Great in Nairobi as they met while they were going to discuss much of the Alexis case of handling the pogroms and getting her into the condition that she's going to be getting 1 thought, 2 thoughts, and 3 thoughts at the time of the threesomes. As the fact, this kind of the people who went to Nairobi recently, they have much to entail and entitle. That's why I'm telling people, you are in Nairobi, but are going to be bringing much of the valid response. And the people who are in Nairobi, they have nothing to offer to the society in terms of giving you the real information. Because even the pictures and the videos are always post. They're coming from me, whereby I always broadcast them live, which is one-on-one. And this is the Commandant General G on the spot. Let's make it happen. This is the case. This kind of the people, at first, they went to Nairobi. And there's in Nairobi a club that they always go and get this kind of the wazungus and get to digitization and pedidism. And that is the fact, because recently you saw Mayuguno and Vinnie Vincent. They were in Nairobi and they were with this kind of the lady in one of the certain clubs and much of the videos. And this is the hint behind this. They had discussed much of the things, how to open her a good channel so as it can be grown with an immediate effect of cucumberization. And you know, whenever you talk about cucumberization, a person who want to help you, go and ask Kenge. Whenever you're talking about you want a help from this kind of the people, you should be so energetic enough to deal with the surface area exposed of ignition. You have to be dealing with it with an immediate effect, perpendicularly per unit, whoa, ding, 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 whoa, until it circumference. You understand me? Exactly. You have to be so energetic enough to make sure that the surface area exposed between the legs is muchly appreciated and appreciative whenever you are just coming on top of it. So that is the fact on how they just cheated this kind of the young lady, and they're in Kenya to have romance and to have the datings where she is trying herself. And I think she's going to be coming next to Gintu, that I want to groove and see how Gintu is romantic. Gintu will not be enough and energetic enough to that kind of the sarcasm, because if the threesome are going on, what about Gintu is alone? Don't consider about the surface area and the erectification that I always have in terms of the cabling, but the fact comes out clean as how is Gintu going to tackle that kind of an equation. The equation is going to be so hectic for me to handle, and such kind of the pogromicity of STIs and STDs, I'm not included. And this is what is by faulting. Now this kind of the people who are in Nairobi, do you want me to tell you the club like JT? I want to tell you the club where it is. Go and romance and get Alexis, she's there, and just get the romance, because we have never seen you even kissing a cat. So somebody will just log in. A cat is a pussycat, eh? So you can just log in. I've never seen you. So the fact comes out, and whenever he bumped you there, NBI is with you. So you're going to get Gintu available with your pictures, and everything going to be coming out very fantastic. For the people talking about, oh, Gintu, you know, whatever you're just talking about is defamation. You're just losing the temper. The fact that comes out clean is this kind of the people who have to rectify their behavior, because they are acting like they are sauntering to the front seat of the church and they are complaining about, oh, pastor, we are the people who are believing, yeah, we help so many children, yeah, we are doing this to the village, yeah. But at the long last at night, the way they lift their hands now, it's perpendicularly going vertically to the ladies now, the ones who are lying this way like rats whenever they're gonna be swallowed like something else. So the fact comes out clean this way. So this kind of the group that went to Nairobi to go and do the digitization and to put things in accommodative way, to make sure that Alexis was being handled with a aggressive way, whereby they can handle her with a aggressive manner. And they know that this kind of a change is going to be changing from one person to another, 1 minute man. And this is the fact. Because when Vincent started it, he hit it like Cherokee drums. Whenever now it shifted to Mayuguno, Mayuguno now talked about we can be using you while we are making the content again. Now it is like this. Let me tell you guys, this kind of the guys are in Pornhub or OnlyFans. And when we ever told you that this kind of the people are acting perpendicularly, and the time the molesters were doing this kind of the scandals, and like Mayuguno talk about Mayuguno and other people were aligned in terms of the minors, this was the stupidity. And also he has got another temperament, and are going to be coming in that case again, because it's really roaming with NBI. Where Mayuguno is, not yet. You have not yet time to sleep. Not yet, because G is onto your neck. Very fantastic, because the roaming case, it's now the baddest ever, and people just know that this is just the beginning. I told you much of the things are going to be coming, because I see forward. When I tell you I see forward, don't hesitate. Just wait for the moment, because things are roaming. And we're going to be coming live, one-on-one, tomorrow morning, with how the conversation was, how the money was transferred, and everything, how it was to Chris the Great. And this was the first mission that this kind of a guy did, whereby they went to Nairobi not only to meet this kind of the ladies and use of donations to offer Chris the Great 60,000 so as they can just sit for the case. We are here bumper to bumper with you, and you're going to be knowing you got yourself where it was not necessary. The fact now, guys, will ever know, there's the well-wishers. I really sympathize with you. Because when you see Ginto has withdrawn himself from somewhere, don't think it's a joke. It's going to be hectic to much of the people, and you're going to not believe it. And again, much of the people talk about Ginto who have not talked about it. I have given out an alarm. Tomorrow, things are going to be hitting like something else. This is how the things go. So when the meeting was assembled in Nairobi, much of the people met in Nairobi because this kind of the guy called Lady J. They met with this kind of the ladies from Nairobi, and they came to Nyabohansi. And from there, they had a conversation. And this conversation, this kind of the lady, she's part of the program of the men in Nairobi who are discussing and making the Pornhubs and the real funds, which is OnlyFans, where they are just gaining a lot of money from, where they are exposing their vivid good bodies that they have been built with, and making sure that they're going to be giving people much of the funds. So this kind of the two boys, Vinny and Mayuguno, they went for OnlyFans and Pornhub so they can just check on what is happening. Because I told you once upon a time, this kind of a guy was ever associated with this much of the things that are now by faulting to the real regime of the time. As we embrace and talk about, let not bring this kind of the stupid habits to the village. They're the ones who are bringing to our young minor ladies and telling them and rolling much of the money and telling them that we have to move together because I have a lot of money to play it and even to pay you after every kind of the time. And this is what is now getting to the default of the people. Whenever you see a young lady, a school young lady, leaving a school because of the minorism and going again and getting the pregnancy and again going back to school and again getting it back and again coming back home, again getting it. So it's something like you are playing a game. And all of these things are happening to this kind of the guy. And people are always cheating you because all the parents, all the people are just beside this kind of the people. They can never be truthful. That's why I tell you, come to the real G. I'll give you the truthful of what is really happening to the real vibe of the time. As everything is in consideration, somebody will talk about, oh, Ginto, have you got much of the money now to bring this kind of the fact? I'm telling people that if you can never do it, or if you do it to a night time, whenever it comes to the daytime, I'm going to be telling you everything how it was. You just be wondering, oh, is Ginto having a tracking device for us? There's nothing like that one. So when I tell you I'm an NBI, and that's why you see even the police can never form any kind of miscellaneous things to get to Ginto, because they know at any time I'll be having their neck covered. As this is the pogromicity, these boys are throwing much of the things to, but we're going to be talking about, okay, the satisfaction is already made and they got the certification, and this kind of the ladies are now becoming stupid at the time. If you know that you have been warned to do this kind of a thing, again, you are coming up with the same effect and coming out to claim. Now, whom are we going to claim at the last time? People will leave you. People will know that this this is the baddest habit, and now they're trying their best to change before other things can come out clearly. Guys, there is a cry outside here. There are people who want to study are outside here, and they're working very hard to get even a scholarship, but people are playing with this kind of the chances, and they will just regret one of the times. And this time round, I'm telling people as a fact, as I take it, and whoever want to take it to the bank will take it to the bank. Things gonna be getting worse and worse to the village. Not even like the rest time. This time round, it's something else. And I'm telling people as a fact, they think it's a joke. Much of the things are still roaming. Guys, you'll wonder. Because I have the information A to Z, let me create it. I have somebody who will psych it. So as people will just know that we are back as NBI. And this is how we go forward. And yesterday, guys, I told you about we're going to be having this kind of the story to round it up as I never rounded it up yesterday because I was telling you the story about this kind of the things, how they were happening between Maja KE and Mayuguno, how the things were just folding. So this is the facts about how it finished. So after all the discussion of everyone mentioning, talking about this is the nyash that I need. I want somebody who the nyash is booming and rectified. And I want a person who I know that I will just, it will just be opening perpendicularly whenever I put my own, or how the cut gonna be, even if the edged cut is milking the milky, and everything gonna be coming out clearly. So this is the default that this kind of the ladies are doing. They talk about, I want, you know guys, in the village here, much of the people, they know that whenever you go to a person who has money, that kind of a person will treat you very fantastic, not knowing that the rudest people ever possible. And to the real fact of the time, they will just they consider and they will know. This kind of the fact is really the fact that comes out clearly. As these boys who they think about, oh, I want this kind of a person, or this and this. You know, during that time, guys, the fact that Maja KE was having this kind of an influence to this kind of the ladies was a time that he was having this kind of a vehicle of Mwita Junior, now calling Mwita and Better. So that kind of a car, which is which car is that one? It's a Toyota, but a Crown. And that kind of a vehicle, it was being hired. And that vehicle, it was being paid daily with Maja, as he could just be driving it to this kind of the seducement and keeping the ladies horny and just tagging himself that, oh, you are the only one, you are the only one, you are the only one. So that's the fact. So at the end, Maja KE dropped in terms of the finance, and he dropped a little bit. Now he had to drop that kind of a vehicle back to Mwita and Better, so that they can just continue their own life and continue their own things that they could be doing outside there. So much of the ladies now, they started pulling back because of this kind of the sarcasm. That this kind of the guy now is a little bit, the pocket demand is lowering. Guys, go support Maja KE because he's looking for much of the support and to be closer to much of the people. That's why I always say about he's always mentioning and being in Kenge fraternity every time. Yet they will never help him at all. Because if Nasto himself never talked, and they cannot even help the guy and talk about the way Nasto came out and talked about guys, support Vanessa James and support this kind of the people, support Alexis, she's here, and they know that they only know that this kind of a person is beneficial to them. That's the only problem that we are having, and to the village. It's the fact that, can you think about right now, you can ever see Mayuguno roaming outside here because of what? He only knows that I want to go to Nairobi where people doesn't know me very well. And I want to go there, put my parties here and there, cherish with how people are just there. And he has been introduced to this kind of the sarcasm. Always talking about, I want a mzungu, I want a mzungu, I want a mzungu. But whenever they go to this kind of the street where the wazungus are very cheap, they are very cheap than even French fries in Africa. So you can understand what I mean. The local French fries, they're just of 30 shillings. So they can just go there and talk about, yeah, you know, I'm a YouTuber. Whenever now we talk about I'm a YouTuber, they're now dying. They can even talk about, they might even produce water where not necessary. So that's the fact. And whenever you touch them, they feel like now they're in heaven. Always having the stupid clothes that everything that they can just wear, so they can just lure. That's the fact that you saw this kind of a boy was a little bit intelligent. This kind of a boy called Nasto was a little bit intelligent. And he went and talked about, hey, my baby, you know what? We have to go to the river. I want you to go and shake the nyash and make sure that I want people to get influenced and they know that I have a girlfriend who is even paying than them. And that's the point we really like about Nasto. Because he can come out and show the wife. And talk about, hey, can we go and swim? Can we go and wash ourselves? But washing themselves with clothes, that was a mystery a little bit. Can you make it like the Mwangu? The Mwangu goes and even put the leg there and talk about, guys, that this place is always dirty. I have to scratch it and use a scarring pad and make sure that this kind of a surface, because at the sections here, it's always warm. So I have to make the surface area very clean, because we're never going to be taking it to the husband or we're going to be taking it to the service. Things are going to be so fantastic. That is the real fact about it. But now, this kind of, the boy now never does such kind of the things, because he knows that going to be rolling Gintu into such kind of the pogromicity, and the people will be talking about it. That's the fact. But if you talk about this, how to expose and make sure that you are declining this kind of the people who are ever scrutinizing themselves, talk about, oh, you know, I like about Nasto, I want to go to Nyabuhanse, I want to meet this kind of the people. They're always coming because we understand, and they're measuring where they know that this kind of the things. And even me, you'll think about they're gonna be coming because the G Castle is moving. Whenever it will be in a finishing point, you'll see much of the people now coming talk about, I want to visit Gintu, I want to no. Welcome. You are fully welcomed. I don't have any kind of the pogromicity, but the video that's going to be coming out is going to be entitling everything that's going to be coming out. So the fact is, everything is so okay. Whenever you come, we're going to be making things to change. And if you need a change, the real G is for the change. And that's why I'm talking about, even right now, you'll never see any kind of the lady, like the demon, talking about, oh, guys, I want to go and talk about this kind of the people. Right now, you'll never see much of the male talking outside here. I'm telling you as a fact. Like Nasto now, we're going to be for the real life. Because he knows that whenever we're going to be talking, the goons, he's going to be talking about, he's going to be eating the poo that we were promised, and we are waiting for it. And I know that she's gonna be looking for Gintu. Gintu is the biggest target, and I don't know why much of the YouTubers in Kenya fraternity, their all spot is, where is Gintu? Where is Gintu? Gintu is always available, and if you want Gintu, I'm like in my bricks here. Today I'm coming out from the bricks here because everything is so okay. Look at even the bricks. I have dismantled the bricks here. I'm installing them back to the store here to make sure that things are coming so okay, because it was like hanging and bending, so it could have fallen down. So I have cut it so as things going to be getting worse. And the real fact is that they're going to be now looking for Gintu. But whenever she's going to be coming, guys, I'm telling you, whenever the demon going to be coming, now you know she's 2 in 1. So I'm going to consider myself huge and hug her hugely hinder. Talk about, now this is not the Gintu you ever attacked. I'm talking about, I want the 20,000 Kenya shillings and I was not monetized. So right now you're going to be coming with an influence. Talking about, hey, Gintu, how are you? I'm very fine. What about you? Everything going to be so fantastic. Califragistically good. And the fact of people now coming to talk about, oh, right now I can host her, number 1. I can take care of her. And I can deal with her perpendicularly per unit. You know, right now, this time, it is the time for them to make sure that the child is getting the right of freedom of air. You know, they need external and internal airs. So right now they need this kind of how they call it, missionary style. So whenever the missionary style is there and the conjugation is happening, you know, the pressing is pressing air inside. So you're going to be getting, I don't know if it's so infectious, and I think it's so healthy for the growing kids, the fetus inside the womb, and because they talk about it's something that you are pressing in, and the service is pressing in the external air to get into the surface area exposed. Now, this is the good time for her to come and look for a good person who will be pumping external air inside. And things are going to be so fantastic, as Gintu is the best option. But to the real facts of the time, we have to sign a contract. Because this is like a contract. Because this kind of the creature that's being carried, it's not for Gintu. And it might be turning like, oh, this kind of the things are going to be default. But the time is coming for them to have everything coming out clearly as we have much of the things to reveal and make it happen. As much as everything is put in consideration, what are we going to look forward up to? Is that now at the village, no one will ever be seen going to Kenge area. There, no one, because whenever you will appear at their gate, you will find a rough task. Because yesterday I saw she was talking about, Kenge, I ever warned you because of this kind of the people. You never listened. Now who is who to blame who? Because whenever you're talking stupidity, you never knew that once upon a time I came and I cooked for you and you ate. And there's a time you came to the Kenge fraternity and I was the cooker. Oh, not a cook again. I was the cook and I was cooking for you and you came and ate and things were satisfied. And you are talking about, and you never liked us. But the real fact is, if you have ever ate my food, you are good to go because you can eat each other. We can, is it that way? We can re-eat the food again, yeah. So the internal foods, yeah, I mean that one, guys. Not we can re-eat, yeah, we can re-eat again, exactly. That's the fact I was talking about, by the way. And how the things are going, it means that there's this kind of the jealousy. Now this kind of the lady, she's saying that, why is Gintu now they are building? These are the worstest people I ever talked about. These are the worstest, but they don't know that they ever blessed me. When I went to their home and their mother was talking about, I like you, Gintu, I like the work you are doing. That's the only person I can even select you, because even Gunmo doesn't know how to cook. You know, I have selected you because I know you have a good heart. I love whatever you're doing. God bless you. I was ever blessed. So the time that they're talking about, this kind of the people are bad, I took my blessings and I went. So right time, they have to be roasted and kept in touch so that they can just rectify their own mistakes and go on with their own village. Don't think about, I can never talk to the villagers. What do you think this kind of the people going to be doing bad to you? They think about, whenever you give a shout out to Gintu, you're going to be making Gintu famous than them. I don't know why they're in such kind of... It's just a matter of time. You will hear that Nasto is out of the village. Because right now you cannot have time for him to inhale and exhale. Because at any time you will see that things are... Goons are there with him. So the fact is that they don't want... Even this is the time I ever told such kind of the people. That, if your brother and your sister... the brothers and sisters, they never want you. And you are just confirming yourself that, I am the one who has to be there. You are forcing yourself to be there. That's something which is so narcotic. And you are just pretending. At the large and at the essence time is that whenever they will spot you anywhere, they will not have anything to do with you. So I am sympathizing. If Nasto cannot talk to Lady J, if Nasto cannot talk to the demon, what are we? If these kind of the people are of the same portfolio, that are of the same, even like this time we can talk about Gunmo sometimes has this kind of the objective that he can never talk to Mayuguno, can never talk to Nasto. And they have this kind of a grudge already. And you're talking about, we are a Kenge family. Kenge family, my foot. That's the time that you have to quit and make sure that you are even yourself. Conform yourself there. And this is a waste that Nasto is doing. That he could have formed himself to be like even himself is owning something. Like, I want to be Nasto and have a Nasto family. Now he's talking about, guys, we are, we are with this, we are with those. And at the time he'll ever come to sense and know that he's doing a mistake. He could be having Majake, he could be having Vanessa, he could be having much of the people. Even there's a guy who was doing their job. I don't know where he has gone. And the fact is, sometimes this kind of the people are misbehaving themselves and they're misusing themselves. Like at a time that they could be so shining right now, they're now talking about, we should just bear that this is the person who brought the YouTube. Is it the person who brought the channel to you? Is it the person who ever, yes, he helped you, but he helped you so as you can help other people. Right now you are depending to Kenge. Now whom do you want you even to gain from you? Now to sometimes change. Look at the time that even Lady J went to check on Tef Matiko. Things went abrupt. He was told you are never welcomed because of what? Stupidity and getting the incredulous things to their own brains, because they know that this family is narcotic. and they cannot perform the best with this kind of the family. Everybody depend on yourself and make it, because the time reaches when this kind of the people they were calling Chef Matiko, that telling him that he's a scammer, is the one who is scamming the wazungus. So as whenever they are sending money to be constructions, the construction to go on, they're coming out to talk about bad intention about them. And that's why you saw Chef Matiko talked about tell him we don't have room for David Jr. to come to my position because he doesn't have anything to offer to them. Right now, there's talk about a fluctuation of prices, talk about low income as donations is coming to themselves and to their pocket. Right now, they are roaming from one place to another so they can just attract. That's why you have seen they have gone back to the Pornhub so that they can gain money and come and finish and put the slab onto his house. So if you don't gain and gauge it, this is the term that this kind of the people, they know themselves. They can only act perpendicularly. Right now, the things I was talking about, Nasto could be like Chef Matiko right now. That Nasto is at home right now. He could be talking about, guys, support this kind of the people. I have a family, more than 30,000 people, my friend. You are a bigger person, bigger YouTuber. You could be doing something different as you. And right now you are still emphasizing about, I have to go and talk about this kind of a people. You could be doing your own things, Nasto. Please do something, my friend, so as you can have a legacy. If you don't do it, I'll do it. And I'm coming to that position because I'm going to be having the team, which is called the G team. And you're going to be just wondering about it because it's forming a little bit. But Nasto, you could be in another level. Like now, you see, Chef Matiko has turned that I don't need this kind of the people that are helping me with nothing. It's just rumors and stupid and jealousy that they don't want to see Chef Matiko now getting contracts from the Wazungu outside there coming to construct houses in Kenya. They feel about it could be their own position. Why is he doing it? I could be the one being formed. When Lady J was being sent money with the Martin from there so as he can just take some people's wife and migrate with them, who was talking about I could be having this kind of a job. You never used it correctly. Right now, it's now eating you and eating your own fraternity. Because of what? You are now looking for, talk about, I want to have, I want to go this way. Now you have seen Lady J was ever a pretender. Talking about, I'm not like Kenge, I don't drink, I don't go to clubs, I'm a holy person going to church my foot. Yet right now you're just in clubs dancing on Saturday. And you're talking about, guys, I'm always in church. Church? Which church? Is that one a church you are there? Is that a church of kissing yourself? Is that a church of lambarization? Is that a church of inserting cucumbers where necessary? Is that a church of, now the offerings is to give her money? Is that a church of offerings? So you are talking about something that you don't even understand yourselves. Because when it reaches at a time, you'll come to get the people you left outside here. And I'm giving this kind of a rectification to your own teams. If you're going to not change, you will look for us once upon a time. Because time changes and tomorrow is another day. I visualize that one. And I'm talking as a fact. And you'll come to check it and you will take it to the bank. Because the time will tell. And whenever time will tell, time comes. And the time will tell at the same time. And when we will just come out clearly to know that you are doing miseries, well, you could just develop and make sure that you are gaining your own influence. You could be having, Lady J could be having his own team. Talk about Chef Matoko is having his own team. Right now, he's not bothered with even the village life. He's not even bothered with anyone in Nyabohanse. He's just bothered with his own family and bothered with the construction is ever doing. On which level are they going? Right now, Nasto is running and talking about Alexis. This is the person who has been an influencer. We have to support her to grow. Yet you know what you are gaining from there in terms of didization and didism. Something very stupid and awkward at the same time. So when like the DJ is now influencing on how to migrate other people's wife from their homes and take the mattress and talk about this mattress now the inches enough for didization to happen, and I can pump you and there's no much of hesitation. It's going to be very strong and the bed is going to be very strong whenever the pumping is ongoing with the injector pumps, whenever electrification is ongoing. And that's where the times that Lady J is going to pay himself. Like he's talking about, I want to migrate you from there. Like is the one who is going to act perpendicularly and leave her in a honism and start the girl now start marinating herself while Lady J is taking the videos. No, who doesn't know that one? So right now, it's an influence. Now they want to start a Pornhub in Nyabohanse because it was started some 6 years ago, whenever Kenge started a YouTube channel, people started YouTube of Pornhub in Nyabohanse. But it was, people prayed for it, and people talked about, no, it can never happen. The guy was being accused. He was even arrested, and he was told that I can never do and can never deal with such kind of the people. This is the fathers and the parents of this kind of the people. And when we come out clearly to talk about this kind of the things, going to be coming back, and they're going to look at now this kind of the lady, they have come. Yeah, the lady has been eaten with the Vin, has been eaten with Mayuguno, eaten with Lady J, eaten, and Nasto is going to be applying. No. They have left only the Kenge driver. You're going to be eating also. So the things going to be now in a complete system. Because if they know themselves that, oh, I have to go in and make sure the things are pumping in, they have to pass on themselves. And you apply and go and talk about now, I'm a legend in Pornhub. That's the thing that's coming out. Look at whenever Kenge going to be coming, and he was in terms of not even having a girlfriend. He was ever acting this kind of the things. He was ever doing this. He was ever talking about, I want to find a lady. I want to use my my own body, which is a carelessly hanging organism, which is irregular in shape and carelessly hanging, to make sure that I'm inserting wear properly and filming, so that I can just get money in this kind of OnlyFans. So sometimes gauge the words, because what I knew that Kenya fraternity is doing with this kind of the OnlyFans, it's where there's a lady from Nyabohanse who is acting in OnlyFans. He ever told they were having a very good conversation with Kenge and also Lady J, talking about I gain a lot of money from OnlyFans, and if you want me to introduce you, pay me 30,000 so as I can just register you in this kind of the websites, so as you can continue. That's the time I knew the people are bouncing balls, and I'm telling you as a fact, things are roaming. Whenever it will come out clearly, I'm just giving you a review. Whenever it comes to the real scenario of the scene, you will know that Gintu once upon a time said. That is the fact, and some people will take it to the bank, because ladies outside there, they're being pumped like something else. People are machines outside. Somebody deal with threesomes, foursomes, and you think that kind of a person is a joke? That person is seriously needing money. That kind of a person is seriously, and you know that a shot is 8,000 with the, talk about whenever you go with the Kenge firstborn Mayuguno here. It's 80,000 Kenya shillings or 10,000. And you are talking about going to be opening your YouTube channel the way, the same way Kenge was ever doing. Just, oh, I'm going to be helping you. Look at Priya Sharma. What was happening with Kenge? I'm going to be helping you, your channel to grow. I'm going to help you. Or the channel are going to be having your fans. You're going to be getting much of the fans from me. They're just paying less money for them to act. And for them to do it very fantastic, they always come out, talk about, they're complaining that there's no money. Yet they will pay. And just to do the decision, which is a 2-minute thing. And talk about, now I'm satisfied. If you want to apply much and do, sometimes you have to get it clearly. Because when we talk about this kind of the people are this way, now Nyabohanse going to be now booming. Because when even the villa was being built, it was aligned that there are going to be a Pornhub there. And I was thinking about, what are they talking about a Pornhub? And I came to know that the condoms were now thrown helter-skelter. And that's the fact. Now it's becoming to a clear light that much of the ladies who are being molested, why was it not like a Pornhub there? And it was like a dangulo, my people, I'm telling you. And something that is now causing much of the terrible heartism to the much of the parents, because they have accused this kind of the people, they have used this kind of the ladies, they have thrown them into a pogrom, they have used them very regularly, and talking about, what, this kind of the ladies are so sweet, or whenever they just hang this way, they put their legs in a missionary style, I don't know, wheelbarrow style, I don't know, dog, which kind of the style, Armenian style, Cameroon style, I don't know which kind of the style. Whichever the style it is, they talk about, they're going to be having tight, I don't know which kind of the tight are they talking about. Is it a cloth? Somebody tell me, what is tight? That they're talking about something is tight. Is it a cloth that they're always wearing? I don't know. It was by the way, I had it. So that's the fact that is coming out. When you come to talk about this kind of the scenarios, how are they going to be handled with a care? And how are they going to be treated and to get out of this kind of the pogromicity of the time. They talk about, you are very stupid, we don't recommend, acknowledge you, we don't do this and this. They think about we can never know the real information about what is roaming in Nyabohanse. Now Nyabohanse, even the house that Lady J is talking about, going to be building, it's going to be a porn hub because they want to film their videos. And you will see he has already put a permanent, which is a perimeter wall. So you're going to be getting it and getting a gate, and things are going to be roaming inside there like safari rally. People are going to be hit there like something. And you see only now they have paid a lot of money in the clubs, in hotels, shooting those kind of the videos. Sometimes they're going to be accused, talking about, we don't want to see you back here. So whenever it reaches to this kind of the segment, it becomes so chaotic. They're now forming themselves, talk about, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. So that kind of the essence is coming out. When we come clearly to the evidence fit, let's happen that we have to create Nyabohanse in another level. Now everyone is now talking about Nyabohanse. Why are they not can even talk about Nyabohanse today? They have something big, a very big rally that they are handling. The patients are being given food in hospitals. Talk about children are being paid much of the school fees. Everybody who is coming. Talk about sanitary needs are being given to everybody who is just available. Talks about the minors. Talk about even books. Like right now, the half term is coming to an end of today, and people need books, people need pencils, people need pens, and whenever people can come out and talk about, we have to psych as YouTubers, talk about all Nyabohanse village, people should be given books, should be given bags, should be given school stationaries. It could be best than talking about you have to get this kind of the ladies from Nyabohanse to from Nairobi, come with them here, didiced, get money, and something which is so awkward. If we could be thinking positively, we could be so far, and people could be talking about Nyabohanse in a very good decisive manner. But now it's being defaulted that they have to talk bad. Even a person from I don't know where is talking about Nyabohanse. So even though people can never watch, they have to talk bad about it. And that's the fact that we have to dismiss. And if we have to come together, I know that it will be so hard for them to talk about we can rejoin with Gintu, we can do this and this. I'm not bothered with it. But once upon a time, I'll do it. And you will see as an example. And I will have it to be done once upon a time. And I'm praying to the living God. I'm telling God, one day, one time, I'll do it. And I'll give people free stationaries. Go back to school and learn than what is now Mayuguno is doing, even creating much of the chaos than even is ever creating. Imagine again paying 60,000 to silence a person who is paying and getting and is one of the guardians of these ladies, and they're now paying